This time home spec inspections. We're doing an inspection this morning. And these are condos. Unit 2304 there on Ogden Street, Ogden and 23rd. So this is an ASHI inspection. ASHI is the American Society of Home Inspectors. A copy of ASHI Standards of Practice is given with the home inspection contract and is the contract. So basically what we're looking for here is any major electromechanical structural problems that may dissuade a buyer from buying the property. Electrical, plumbing, furnace, and structural stuff. What we're not doing is nickels and dimes. We're not doing cosmetics, making sure you don't have holes in screens or dandelions. We're looking for major issues, not dandelions. Okay? And then the HOA is pretty much taking care of the outside. So generally on a condo inspection, it involves the inside inspection. Although I'm going to take a look at a courtesy type deal on the outside here, because most of the problems with houses and stuff, a lot of the problems are the outside. Now, anyway, I'm going to start on the outside and work my way in. Now the roof is inaccessible for a home inspector. You have to have a specialty ladder to get up that high. And it's really not required to get on roofs anyway. So anyway, we had roof brokers come out here and look at the roof, and they found a few little minor issues with the roof. I don't necessarily agree with roof brokers. I've been using them for years, and they've actually called roofs good when they're not. So I guess it depends on what wild hair they have at the time. So I'd probably still get, and this is an HOA issue. It was a courtesy type deal. We had them come out just to make sure there wasn't a major issue with it, I guess. But anyway, and it could be fine. But like I said, I've had roof brokers call roofs good that weren't. Okay. Anyway, so you need to check with the HOA and see what their game plan is on the roof up there. And the flat roofs are problematic for leaking, and they really have to be done right. I suggest you put a rubber roof up there called EBTM, rubber roof. Okay, the outside structure. This is probably, structural brick. And it's not being maintained properly. They put they're using the wrong kind of grout on here. This is older grout here. And they're using modern grout. You have to have a historic renovator to tuck point the building properly. These little cracks here are nothing to worry about. I don't see any structural issues here. These pretty much typical stuff, and it's pretty much typical what they're doing it, meaning they're not maintaining it right. This needs to be tuck pointed by a historic renovator. They're making the building look like it's worse than it is, but this. So you need to have the check with the HOA, get a tuck pointing expert out here, generally a historic renovator, to tuck point the outside of the building. What's happening here, this white staining here is efflorescence. This water's coming out through here because it's improperly. The water's not draining off here. It's going in here through the years. Not a big deal, but that's what that is. The kind of mortar they used back in 1900 or so is a soft mortar, and you have to actually match that stuff. If you put on a new hard mortar, it makes it worse. So you need to get somebody that knows what they're doing, not the person they've had out here. And you can replace these bricks. So this is actual structural bricks. You really need to have this, and I don't recommend painting this stuff either. Once you paint them, you got to keep painting them. And you see all those bits and chipped out bricks. They're just deteriorated bricks. They really should be repaired. That's all part of the house. It's being not maintained properly. One of the roles of the board of directors and or management companies is to maintain property values, and it's not being done here. And then one thing, when you start painting like they did here in the back, it's kind of a quick fix. Once you paint, then you got to keep painting, and it doesn't allow the bricks to breathe and stuff, and you still have some chipping up bricks there. A cheap way to fix stuff that should be fixed. Okay, look at the very roof up there. That's rolled roofing up there. Not the best roofing material, and then they just took it and just kind of rolled it up on top of that parapet wall without cap flashing on it. So that should really be a cap flash to do it right. Yeah, I just don't really agree with roof brokers on what needs to be done up here. I'd probably get a real roofer up here, okay? And up here, they don't have gutters up here. Why do you care? Constantly drops down, drips down here, and splashes all over here. Probably why they had to replace the concrete there. Plus you're going to have ice hazards dripping down here, all the rest of stuff. So I'd put gutters up there, downspout, drain it away from the property somehow. And that flashing's not done right up there. You actually have to step or stick the edge of that flashing into the brick. It doesn't appear that it is. Can't get up there and see if it doesn't. Looks like they over flash it by another one. I think the original one may have been underneath there, but what you have to do, you have to actually embed it in the brick by either cutting the brick or in between the grouts. So like I say, you need to get a real roofer out here. Yeah, like what they did up there, that's not even flashed. See that? They just glued it up with some caulk or some tar, asphalt, and some concrete. Need some work on the chimneys, the tuck pointing. So that should be metal flashed too somewhere. Like I say, almost any roofer come out here and look at the roof. You have the HOA to hire them though, or to retain them. They usually come out for free, but they're not going to work for an individual. I wouldn't, because you're not going to be paying them if they need repairs. That needs work on the chimneys. So that painted over rot here, right here in this corner, and that's because you don't have gutters up there and improper drainage. You might want to even put gutters on the bottom of this one here too, because that drain water is going to go in here and all drips down here and causes ice issues too, okay? Even though this is the neighbors, you got a bird nest in your, probably your duct for your kitchen and your stove. So it just tells you the property not being maintained right. Your AC unit here looks like you got it in back to this refrigerant line here probably needs to be replaced. Not the refrigerant line, the suction, the insulation on it. Yeah. And we don't know what it looks like going all the way up, but this line needs to go all the way over it, all the way up on the roof. Can't get on the roof. It's like you got 25 amps is the max fuse for it, so we'll have to take a look at that. And we'll go from there. We'll fire it up to see how it runs here in a little bit. But you probably need the service on your air conditioning. You're missing a little bit of suction line up there. The insulation on it, okay? That's critical for the efficiency. Right, electrical coming in there. See that service entrance mast there? They just taped it with electrical tape up there. They should have a better weather-resistant plastic cover over it. Okay, you got this rusted out and rotted out too. This handrail right here going in the house. Yeah. This common stairwell up here is not heated. You don't have any storm windows here, no screen. Of course, this is some little maintenance stuff that should be done too. This isn't a tempered glass either, but it still works. You don't have any screens. You're gonna have a lot of air loss here. So, a bit of mold and mildew from. I think this porch is probably leaking a tad here. The roof from not being flashed properly. So, you know, this should have all been stained and finished here too, this little porch here area. Okay, so this is your electrical panel. Looks like it's looks like it's new. What you don't have is a main shut off, so we can go outside and look for it. It's like, who cares? I mean, you don't really need one in here. Okay, so your floor, shooting with laser level all the way across, is quite a bit off. It's off at least 1, 2, 3, over 4 inches. 1, 2, no, 3 inches. That's almost 5, right? 5, 1, 2, 3. about 3 inches plus off, okay?
Yeah, is that 5?
Hey, the furnace is going to be leaking a bunch of air here. The ductwork's not really done right. That should be all sealed up, so you're going to leak a lot of your heat in this room here instead of where it's supposed to be going. Missing your wired-in smoke detector, and you might want to do a little carbon monoxide detector there too. About 5-year-old furnace here, looks pretty good shape. You still have it cleaned and serviced. I do see a little bit of rust over here. That could be from the condensate leaking from the air conditioner. I see some stains over here. We'll fire it up to see how it works. And you got a big hole here. You need to seal this hole up here. So you should have an HVAC guy come out here and fine tune this thing, seal up the ductworks, and clean and service it at least, okay? Hey, this is backdrafted carbon monoxide. I can feel it with my finger right now coming out. So let me fire up the furnace here. The furnace is turning off and on. It's short cycling. It's not working right. You see the flame on that thing is supposed to be getting sucked in there. See, it's getting sucked in and goes back out. Not being sucked in, it's actually being pushed out now. Sucked in, out. So it's not being drafted. I see it pushing out, the flame going away. Okay, so it's not, then it goes in. So it's not drafting right, okay? So that needs to be fixed, okay? That's what I'm saying? You may need a 4-inch draft hood and a 4-inch flue for this, because it's really not drafting right, not in my book anyway. And whoever put the expansion tank in should have strapped it to something. It needs to be strapped. It can't be just sitting on here. You need to document the issue with the date of the furnace. It says it's you call it an HVAC pull. The realtor did, and he says it's at 2,000. So if it's at 2,000, that means it's it's maybe towards the end of its useful life, unless it was a new one that was used or not used and sold as old. We've determined that the furnace is original, 16-year-old furnace, so it's reaching the end of its useful life. So you need to have it clean, serviced, and certified at least. Okay? Okay, the furnace just fired up, shut down again. So usually that's a limit switch that's turning off. And that could be because it's got a dirty filter in it, or the milliamp adjustment is not correct. See if it fires back up again. See if the furnace fires back up. No, it's not firing back up. It's not lighting all the deals up. Now it's not even getting gas. There it goes. Now it's fired up. Got 2 jets fired. The other 2 aren't firing up, so it's going to shut down now.
Could have a factory change.
Okay, so we're going to try this again. So this 17, 16-year-old furnace isn't working right. The jets aren't firing up. It's shut down about 14 times so far. Might want to change your shower head. I think it's all plugged up from calcification in there. Not much water coming out. Some water damage to your brick. How to maintain this brick from maybe a historic renovator or even an engineer. You got some damage down there. This is usually water coming from the outside. Yeah. Pretty much the conclusion of the inspection here at 2304 Ogden here.